Hey crafty cuties, welcome back to Paper Terrace. If you're new, I'm Jessica and I need to paint my nails. I'm real sorry guys, but let's just get past it now that I brought it up. Today we're going to finish the Christmas journal, and just for a little, not a disclaimer, but just to add, I'm also planning to make a soft cover Christmas junk journal with you guys as well. That one won't be what I'm using, but that was requested of me a few times to do a soft cover journal that's also a Christmas journal. So I will hopefully be getting to that soon. But we're gonna finish up. If you didn't see part one, that is where we took a pasta box and created this lovely journal cover. So this video should be quite simple. I'm not going to be showing any new techniques or anything, but I'll still complete the journal with you. So I am actually going to be using papers from Tsunami Rose. I actually went to the store looking for some Christmas papers, or like paper pads this year that I really liked. I kind of wanted like pinks and light colors. I couldn't find any, so I was like, oh, hey, I think I will just check out and see what Tsunami Rose has. And these are, I think most of these are like a vintage wrapping paper. Some of them have lines on them. So I will put her shop down below because she has a ton of Christmas papers and printables and all of that. She's definitely one of my top 5 faves for digitals. So I'm just showing you, I obviously cut these down a bit just to save time showing you a boring step, but these were just full sheets of 8.5 by 11. I used cardstock on them this time because sometimes I want to have my pages just a little bit sturdier. I will say, isn't this one so cute? I do normally use copy paper and I have no issues doing junk journal layouts in my journals, but I kind of just wanted to try the cardstock out this year. I feel like I don't have to worry as much, and I could do like watercoloring on here or a bunch of techniques, and I think it will just hold up a bit better. But I will say I've had no issues ever using thin or copy paper in my journals. That's typically what I use, but this year we're changing it up a little bit. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me think. Okay, I had to count those. I have 12 pages in here, so folded in half, you're going to end up with 48 front and back pages. And since I'm using this for Christmas, I do typically a page a day in December. So, you know, I really only need like, and sometimes I only go up to Christmas, so I only need like 25 pages. But there are times when I want a full 2 pages, but I don't want to have too many pages in, so I think that that is the perfect amount for me. And I'm not sure like what I'm gonna do here. I am going to, you know what, maybe we could go ahead and sew on some lace. Like I said, this part's gonna be so simple. I was thinking of keeping some pages white, only because I really like to have a lot of room to get creative on my layouts. But then I was thinking, well, I could go through and do a few pages that have pockets and things, but it's hard because for me, I know that I craft better in a journal when I have just a flat page. But right now, like, I'm wanting to add pockets and things, but the only problem is sometimes that doesn't end up flowing with what I want for a certain day's layout. So right now I'm just adding a little bit of Victorian velvet ink to this sweater stencil. I just kind of wanted to see if I liked that, or will I want to keep most of them white. Let's just see. Like, part of me just, I have the hardest time putting a journal together and just keeping it simple, yet I know that for my journaling style, I work better with blank pages. And to be quite honest, I almost was going to do all white pages and not even these cute pages, because I might end up covering these up, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't do it. Okay, so let's see. I mean, yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to save myself the time, and I just wanted to try this out real quick, but I might not want this stenciling when I get to it. So anyway, sorry, that's just my thinking process. we're just gonna actually sew these in. Now I do think I'll add lace. Let's do that because that's something I can't do after the fact. So the pages, those are gonna be simple. Let's go ahead and finalize this inside cover. And I got this printable here that I think I want to use for the inside. We also have this window, and I am planning to make a little shaker. I ordered the sequins off Etsy. They're not here yet, so I'll have to figure out a really cool way to make sure to keep this open so that I can add that later. Okay, so let's start. This is the easier side, so let's go ahead and measure where we need to trim this off. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use my trimmer for this. So I was about to just chomp this down, and then I remembered a lot of times on my back book covers pages, I kind of like to have a pocket or something so I can add just additional photos or cards that I don't want to worry about. So I don't want to cover up this pretty paper because that's usually what I do. So I think what I'm going to do, okay, set that aside. I'm sorry, it's just how I craft, guys. I found this really cool hollow paper at Michael's. It's like a pack, so I know it's gonna not be great for the camera, but this is mostly going to be covered up. So let me just measure where I need to cut here. I kind of am hoping that this will peek out a bit, but yes, I know it's not gonna be great for the camera. I just thought it was really cool and had to grab it. So why not use it? Okay. Then we'll put a glassine bag over the top, but I'll decorate it with that cute Christmas paper. Okay. Now because I want to avoid being like, oh wait, I could do this. Oh wait, I could do... I'm just gonna glue this all the way down right now. Could sew it, but I think I will just be fine with gluing it. Sorry about that, guys. My husband is leaving for Chicago right now, as he was just letting me know that his plane was taking off. Okay. Good amount of glue. And then just press that down really well. Okay. The glue is like really weird with this paper. It's craft on the back, but for some reason it's just like not sticking. So I went to sew it and I did an awful job, but it's on and it's gonna be covered, so we're just fine. All right, so I have this little like glassine treat bag kind of thing, and I think I'm just gonna glue that straight down, and then we'll decorate on top like this. And I'm just gonna try to just do just that, keep it simple. Let's go ahead though and of course use a little bit of ink just around the edges here. And then I could also add a little bit here. If I was using a cleaner sponge here, this pink would show up truer to color, but that's okay. We're gonna call that good. It's not really gonna show. I am a bit worried to use glue on this because I think that I want to avoid as many wrinkles, and I don't feel like spreading it out to make it nice and smooth. So I'm going to use some double-sided tape here. Just some good old plain double-sided tape. Wow, this one is very strong double-sided tape. I didn't kind of expect that. It's the Scotch. I rarely buy this kind of double-sided tape, but I was buying some tape for wrapping presents. My son's birthday is almost here, and I was like, oh, that might make present wrapping really simple. But now I know it's a good tape. Oh no. You guys, I taped the wrong side. Why didn't you tell me? I guess it's not a big deal. Okay, who cares, right? It's not a big deal. I'll just fold this part down, I guess. Oh man, that's okay. I mean, it's still just fine. Do I want to have that folded over like that? Yeah, maybe I do. Okay, so we're good, we're good. I am gonna actually glue this. I just felt like gluing onto that hollow paper. I don't know, it took glue very odd. But we'll just go like that. I'm getting really excited for December daily. Very excited. Okay, so I have this little journaling card. I'm just gonna pop that in there right now just for fun. And I can't overstuff this pocket, but it's nice for like 2 or 3 extra little pictures, you know, that I didn't add to the journal. They can just go into that. Okay, so over here, I'm trying to think. So I need some kind of a pocket so that we can have that little sequin mix come in and out. And I think, what if I just put this down? Let's trim this to size though. Okay. So maybe, oops, go like that, but then just don't glue this side down, and it could just be like a little side pocket is what I'm thinking. Yeah, I think that would work. So I'm wondering if I have to line it up just right. I'm gonna cut out like a little half circle here. And I should have used a punch because I don't think I did a very good job there, but that's okay. Just a tiny little half circle. All right, 1 hour later, I'm back. You didn't even know I was gone. So anyways, I'm thinking, since I am wanting there to be like a pocket right here, I want this to be a bit smoother because I have lace sewn down here. So I'm just gonna take some cardstock here, just white cardstock, because it will get covered. Oh boy, okay, I almost fell on the floor. And we'll just glue that down. I'll make sure to have a good amount of glue around the edges. And so basically, there, yeah, let's go down a little bit more. Basically just wanting to cover this part up here so that it's as smooth as can be for the pocket. And then even down here. And since this isn't gonna be, this won't be visible, so I'm not really working too hard to make it look pretty. There's definitely other ways I could have done this to make it look nice and pretty, but it's just not gonna matter. Okay, I think that's gonna help. So basically, I'm gonna have something slide in here, and so I guess I need to decide how big I want that to be. So I printed out these really cute little cards that are also from Tsunami Rose, because I was thinking that just a light kind of, what am I trying to say? I want a cute little Christmassy design, but I needed it to be on a smaller scale since that window is so tiny. But also I'm gonna have, you know, a sequin mix, and so I really didn't want it to be too dark or anything like that. I want the sequins to kind of be the main part of the show. And I'll show you how we'll make a really simple little pocket for the sequins to go into as well. Okay, so let me see. I could just have this maybe slide in sideways, and maybe it will be better if it almost goes all the way to the bottom, because it will just be easier to line up where I need that pocket for the sequins. I hope that makes sense. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and back this just on some thicker cardstock, because I also did not plan that out very well, and I just printed it on printer paper, which should be fine, but I think it's going to be easier to take in and out of the pocket if it's on thicker paper. So we'll just use white here, and I'll keep the back blank because maybe I can add a picture or maybe some journaling. I'm not sure yet, but we'll just keep it white for now. I think that's going to be fine, even though the print is sideways. Again, you're really not going to be noticing the design too much just because it's going to have sequins, but I think I like it this way better. Okay, so now I need to figure out where that is so that I can put one of these little clear pockets, which is what I'm planning to use to put the sequins in. And since this is a little bit bigger than the window, we have room to work with. So I'm just gonna kind of line this up where I want it. So I need space on the side here and the bottom to glue and attach this paper. So I can't have it go all the way down, but we'll probably say just kind of like that. So then, like I said, I'm gonna kind of hold it here and I'm gonna flip this up so I can just see where I need this to go. There's probably an easier way to do this, but oh, you know what? Yes, I'll just put this down. I'll just line it up where I need it, and then since I still have my card in place up here, I'll just bring it down and it should end up in the perfect spot. Heck yeah. Yeah. And we got the top right there. So when I put the sequins in, I will close this up somehow. I think I will sew across, and since this comes out, that will be easy to do. Perfect. Okay, so now I can go ahead and attach this down. And so let's think about how I want to decorate that before I do that. I think I want to add some lace up here for like a little pocket. So I will do just that. And I'm just going to cut out a little piece here. Maybe like that big. So I will just trim around here. I don't mind if the lace is a little bit bigger than I need it. And I'm cutting at a really weird angle, but that's fine. Okay, so I have a little piece of cardstock cut out just to make this pocket even more, you know, better. Stronger, that's the word. Okay, and I think I'm going to glue, nope, I think we'll sew it onto the cardstock. So we'll have this all sewn together first. So I'm just going to sew all the way around. Okay, so we have that sewn on here. Then we're going to sew just all the way around the sides and bottom. I think I'm going to go ahead and actually use, I have this scalloped hole punch to get a better, and I'm hoping it will go through like the fabric as well, just to get a better half circle. Probably can't do all the layers, so let's try that again, and then I'll try to line it up. I just want it to be kind of obvious that there's a pocket. Let's see. Might not go through the lace, but let's try again. Yeah, kind of. Okay, and now remember, even though we have this little half circle, the side pocket's not actually on this piece here. It's going to be underneath this. So I can still go ahead and sew all the way around the edges. I had to think that through for a minute because I was like, wait, what? Oh boy. So I'm just going to follow that half circle as best that I can. Just kind of go slow. And then I'll sew all the way around this as well. There we go. All right. I feel like this part of the journal is taking me so much longer than it should. I just don't know why. Okay, so let's come back over here now. Sorry, making you dizzy. And now we can go ahead and we're going to basically glue most of the top half here. And I want to make sure that this sticks down really well so that our pocket will work nicely. Whoops. And then, let's see, and then we'll go down the side, but carefully, and then down the very bottom. And again, try not to get too much because we need that card to fit really well in there. Okay, so I'm gonna take the pocket out because now. We just need to make sure to glue this as far down on the bottom of the page as we can. Should line up pretty well. Great, okay. Now I'm gonna let this dry really well before trying to stick this pocket back in. So let's put something heavy on that for now, like that. And we can finish up this because I wanted to add, actually I need to use this, a little tag topper so that that will be easy to pull in and out of the pocket here. And so we want it on the bottom here. So I'm just gonna punch a tiny little hole. And then I can put some twine through there. I have this like kind of fluffy yarn and I think that will look cute. I might need the hole a little bit bigger. Let's see. Now I can make it work. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull that through. Flip it around. Okay, so this is pretty ready to go. Now, like I said, I don't have my sequin mix right now, but I definitely want to try it out with some other sequins that I have, just to get an idea of what it's gonna look like, because I think it's gonna be so cute. And I have to keep remembering that I put it in like the opposite of what I normally would. Okay, so yeah, I think this is gonna be so cute. Okay, so we'll just let that continue drying. Now we should work on the pages. I'm gonna start sewing on lace to all of the pages. So I'm gonna gather up my lace and we'll be back here together. But I had to show you really quick how cute this is going to look. I might end up changing the card. I don't know if I'm gonna like the card behind it, but you can see how cute the sequins are, and they're gonna move around in there. I don't have it sewn shut, so obviously I don't wanna move it around too much, but it will have sequins that really kind of match the theme as well. So I hope you can see how cute that will be. Yay. Fun. So I just picked out mostly whites and golds. There's a couple maybe that have a little bit of red or green, but I mostly just wanted white and gold. And I'm just gonna go through here and sew the lace onto just a few of the edges. Not every page will have the lace. And I do this really simple. I just do a straight stitch usually, and I just sew all the way down. Sometimes I'll do like a back stitch to start it out if it's a really like thin lace, just to make sure it won't tear off on the edges, but like that. And then you can do the same thing where I do a back stitch right at the end as well. So I will repeat that to the rest of the lace, and then we can finally get these pages into the journal. Time to bind. So to make this a little bit prettier, I just got some cardstock here, and I'm just gonna glue that down. And then I have my template to make this all pretty easy. And I will quickly explain how I made my template, and then I'll show me sewing in one of the signatures. But if you are looking for like a really good or in-depth tutorial on how to make a journal, I will link down below one that's going to go more into detail and show like the all of the smaller steps a little bit better. I'm just going to do this one quickly because I feel like a lot of you have seen me do this many times. So for the template, let's see, I need to cut this a little bit here. You need a piece of paper that is the same size or a touch smaller than your spine. Okay, so this is just about the same size as the spine. Then I'm gonna fold it in half so that I can find the middle mark. Now I have 6 signatures because I only put 2 pieces of folded paper in each little signature here. So I have lots of them. That way I think it's easier to craft in if they're spread out in more signatures with less pages per signature. So since I have 6, I have it folded in half, and I know I'm just going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And so I'm basically going to spread out 6 holes along the center here. That's where I'll start, and I already started at the top but off camera. And in order to space it out kind of evenly, but not using a ruler, I'll like fold it in half and then fold it again, just so I can see. It just helps me be able to evenly space those out, but I'm literally just eyeballing it, and I'm gonna put an X where all of the holes will be. You can use a ruler and get this very precise. I'm not worried about it. And then down at the bottom, I just go, usually I'll just like literally fold across so that there's a straight line for me to, again, and then I'm just gonna try to line all of these up in a row. I have done this so much that I just really just eyeball it. One thing it's important, I will say, right top at the top, so that you will not mix that up, because it's so easy to do. Then we're gonna take this, line it up. You can tape this down if you want. And I'm going to just start poking the holes where all of the X's are. And there's a lot on this one since I have so many signatures, but that's okay. And so I'm just gonna go through, making sure not to move this. Again, you can tape it down. And I'll just continue on like this, and then we'll use the same template to poke the holes into the signatures. So I'll finish poking these and I'll be right back to show you that step. All right, all of these are poked. I also poked a hole at the top, by the way, where my eyelet was, just so when I go to put a charm, I would already have that hole poked out. Okay, now, like I said, I'm gonna take all of the signatures. I have them in the order that I want them to be. And for this part, you can totally use some paper clips to hold your pages together. Since I'm only working with 2, I honestly don't need it. But I'm gonna take that same template, and now I'm gonna fold it in half this way. And for this part, I'm going to poke the holes on that center line, but just exactly on the same line where I poked the other one. So for that, I'll just like go like this so you can see where that is. I hope that makes sense. I don't usually mark it off, but just so you get an idea. It's just easy to use the same template. And if the pages are a little bit shorter, then I will go ahead and just kind of evenly line this up in the middle. Then I'll take my awl and just poke those 3 holes. And then I'll just put this to the side, again making sure the top is at the top of the signature. It can be really easy to mess that up, so just take your time, and I will continue poking the holes through the other signatures. I rarely ever use actual thread for my binding, but I wanted to try this out. I wanted to use gold, and I didn't have any other colors I really liked, so we're gonna go for it. And basically I am going to measure out, I like to do like 2.5 times or so the height of the journal, and I'm going to actually do a double layer of this thread since it is a little bit more thin than I normally would use, but I think it's gonna be just fine. And so I'm going to thread my needle. Okay, I just leave a little tail. And then I'm going to take my pile. It's in order right now from the top signature to the bottom. So I'm gonna flip it over and start with the last signature. So we'll be working on this very last row. Now when you do have so many rows or columns, it can get a little tricky, so you just want to take your time and make sure that you are sewing into the correct lane. And basically I'm just going to do this simple 3-hole pamphlet stitch by sewing into the center, out to the cover. It's a little harder too on lace because it's just a little bit harder to see the holes, but you'll get it. I see it there. And then you're gonna sew to the inside. Woohoo, got the right one. And it's much easier to do this like closer to your face than on the camera. Sorry. Okay, and then, oh, that came off. So if that happens, pull it through, redo my needle. Then when you're in the top hole, then you just go straight down to the bottom hole, to the outside. Yeah, this thread might be a little tricky, but that's okay. We're gonna get through it. And then you go back in through the center where you will tie off your ends. Okay, there we go. And I believe these almost pulled through but didn't. Woohoo! You want to have one of your ends on one side of the center thread and one on the other, and then you can go ahead and make sure that everything is all the way through and just tie off a double knot. Then I'm just going to go ahead and repeat with all of these signatures. Everything's sewn in, and I feel like this journal is looking scrumptious. I'm so excited to have this done. I definitely don't like how this window looks. I thought that the background journaling card wouldn't make too much of a difference, but it's very obvious to me that it's sideways. I don't like the lines, so that's an easy fix. I'm basically just going to I'll just make a second one of these, and I can use this tag somewhere else, and I might have glued it in place, but that's okay. We'll get it out. There we go. So yeah, I'll just make a different one. That's fine. So we have the inside cover here with a little pocket, which will be great for a tag or something. And then I chose this paper as kind of like the title page. Love it. And yeah, you can see I added lace to probably like every other page. Not exactly, but kind of like that. And everything's in here. I feel like I have a good amount of room to add things. My goal is to make sure that it shuts completely like this starting out, because I know for me, if I decorate these base pages way too much and it's already like open, there's not going to be enough room for me to add all of my photos and things, and then I feel like it just gets annoying when it can't close. So I'm really excited to share this with you guys. I love how the gold looks. I did have to double thread, you know, I did have to double thread it to make it secure enough, but everything feels really great. So this tutorial or video was kind of all over the place. Let's hope the next one's not, and hopefully I'll have the new sequins by the next time I start journaling in this. And yeah, I definitely will. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys!